Hi, are you guys able to see me? Please confirm. Hi guys, are you able to see me? Please confirm if my voice is audible, is the video is visible. If everything perfect, then I'll just connect Sandhya and then we can shoot our live. Let me just connect with Sandhya. Hi Sandhya, good
Hi,
evening.
Kriti. Good evening.
So good to see you.
So good to see you too. We're seeing each other after quite a while.
Oh yes, at least after a span of say 5 years, I think.
Yes, clearly. Yeah.
But I think the bond is still the same.
Absolutely. I think, Facebook and Instagram, everything keeps the bond alive.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I've been following you, so yeah, I
same
can see a lot
here.
of activity on your page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I keep on looking at your sessions that you take, the posts that you post on LinkedIn.
Right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think that's how, the world works now. You have to keep
Yeah,
updating, yeah, and following each other. Right.
that's right. So I'll just quickly check with the viewers if the audio and video is perfect, then we
Sure.
can start with the session.
Sure.
So thank you everybody for joining in. Please confirm in the comments if everything is working fine, and I hope there is no echoing this time. I'll just wait for the confirmation. So whoever is watching us, please confirm if you're able to hear us properly. All okay. So I think that's good.
Right.
That's a good sign. Right. So whoever has joined in at Four Walls for the first time, I'll just give a small introduction. So Four Walls is going to be a mini series of 6 sessions. This is the second episode of it, and it will be running throughout the month of May 2020. One episode every Sunday. What it's an attempt to highlight the real life role models who have actually taken the leap of faith, put in some courage, determination towards their passion, and converted their passion into profession. And it's about knowing them more, how they did it. This is for all of us to soak in what did they do so that they could live their dream. I don't want to say more on it because I'm sure the stories of my professional guests who are here are, they are more, it's more like real life scenarios, right? So it talks for its own. I don't need to do much talking here. And now let me introduce you all to Sandhya. Now, Sandhya, as I know her, I was only knowing that she's an image consultant and a soft skills trainer. But the more I converse with her, the more I get to know her, I now know that she is a qualified lawyer. She had been a former model and image consultant, soft skills trainer, language coaching. There are so many feathers to her hat. Now let's get to know her by her own words and her journey. So hi Sandhya, welcome on the show.
Hi, Kriti, and hi, everybody who's joined us. I hope you all enjoy the conversation and get to know, I think, Kriti's purpose of everyone finding out how do you get to your, purpose in life, or how do you follow your passion. I think that is the idea of this talk, and I
Yeah,
hope everybody gets a little bit more value out of it.
right. Okay, Sandhya. So let's start. I want to start with a very well-known quote. Uh, People say, like, opportunities don't happen. They just don't happen. You have to create them. And we are eager to know, how did your journey to your passion to profession begin?
See, I can't really say that it began all of a sudden. I think one transitions to who they become. There are these snippets that you take from your childhood, a few learnings here and there. Of course, your academics are in addition to it. All the learned skills that you pick up are in addition to it. But I believe for me, it has been more of a transition than a beginning. I remember, Kriti, if I can just go in this detail, that when I was a child, my father always asserted on language as an important tool, right? He would make me stand in front of him and read out from Times of India, would correct my diction, would correct my language. I used to be a reader in my school also. So every time a faculty came in, they would ask me to get up and read because I spoke a certain way. So language was always something that I enjoyed. Of course, then I studied law, and therein came the play with words. So that smartened my language a bit more. Then, of course, I joined a company as an overseas education consultant and used to guide a lot of students going abroad, talking to them, helping them find their niche. So I think that is where the training part came in. Then one fine day I was like, okay, Sandhya, now how long do I want to continue working? Is there another let out for the creativity in me or my own vision for myself? And that is
Right.
where I became a trainer and then went on to become an image consultant also. So it literally was a build up rather than, arriving suddenly at a point in time.
Right. Well, that's great to know that, you evolved into various roles and various aspects of life, and today you are here.
Right.
I think it's my personal question as well as a question of a lot of people. Like, how do you identify, like, what you're good at and what is your real passion? Because at times a person is good at so many things, like, they have multi potential. Because when I think when we are young, we are enrolled into certain classes like hobbies, and there's no clear distinction between a hobby, passion, and how to really take it forward. So, Sandhya, what is your take on it?
So, Kriti, there are a lot of ways, I mean, one, of course, what worked in my favor was also the experience that I got. So, I did not start my career at 22. I started my career, let's say, the field that I am in, started when I was 30. So, I did take my own sweet time finding out what I was good at. I dabbled in a few jobs. I then got on into training in within that also I realize that this is an area that I work better in. There are certain areas that I clearly haven't stepped in, but I realize that that is my potential. But as and when I explored it in my own experience, uh, but there is one clear demarcation if I could give you. So I remember I was in my job and I was sitting in my office and I knew this is not what I want to do for the next 10 years, right? And like our best friend is Google, yeah. So
Yep.
I Googled it. I said, how do I find out what am I good at? And I found a SWOT analysis. I'm sure, in my training also, I think I've done SWOT analysis with a lot of people. But I
Yep.
tell them that, I did a SWOT analysis for myself. I found out my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, all of it. But then I acted on it. A lot of times we find out what we are good at, but we don't really realize it and we don't work on it. We don't really take the next step on it. So
Right.
as soon as I found out that no, I called a couple of people and asked them, what am I good at? What do you think are my strengths? And they said, Sandhya, these are clearly your strengths. You're really good at, training. You're good at convincing people. You're good at influencing people. So I realized that no, if this is something that I'm good at, then this is a direction that I need to take. So I think
Right.
that was literally the changeover for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well put together, Sandhya. So I think those little steps that you take every day to really get closer to your goal.
Yeah.
And even a great example, how you reached out to your friends and family to identify
Right.
what you're good at, because
Right.
they are your real critics, or they are the real people
Absolutely.
who will give you the feedback as raw and as constructive they can be. And then
Yeah.
it's up to the person then how they take it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
Kriti,
very well put.
I still do that. Like I myself also still undergo a lot of trainings, and I welcome a lot of feedback, and I welcome a lot of areas of improvement. And of course, I mean, I don't really take in everything and then work on myself. I'm not that advanced in it yet, but
Right.
areas that I can work on and can immediately work on it, I do take them up and I don't procrastinate them. And when I start developing it, so that is one area that I would say that if you find your passion, follow it.
So taking
Yeah,
actions.
absolutely. Yeah.
So everybody who's watching, if you know your passion or if you want to arrive to your passion, take this advice of SWOT analysis and then go after it. Okay, now my next question to you, Sandhya, is when you started, do you really had like a checklist? Like I need a company, I need a fancy office in a skyscraper building, or are these really necessary for being successful or at least starting from somewhere?
Kriti, again, when I started this, I did have to make a lot of investment in the course that I did, right? I am a certified image consultant, so I had to put in a lot of money in that.
Right.
That literally meant that I did not have the money to have a fancy office and get this whole thing redone and all.
Yeah.
But my profession doesn't even require it. Most of the times I work out of my client premises or their corporate office or a lot of their homes also. So there is always this need to have an office, and I'm constantly thinking about having one, but I haven't yet started one, and I think I'm doing perfectly fine. See, one of as a freelancer, it's very important to stay lean on your expenses also, right? Any good organization, even in current times, will tell you they are surviving because they are lean right now, right? So I
Right.
believe that the profession that I have gives me that advantage. I don't really have to have a brick and mortar,
Yeah.
office. But working out of people's places, oh, there are so many options now, at least there were until 2 months or 3 months back. There are so many co-working spaces. So
Yes.
being able to take that advantage is so we have the resources, we just have to find them.
Okay, so everybody, you just need to explore a little more, find out what your options are in the city that you're in or the geographical area you are in, what is more feasible for you, what is pocket friendly for you. And Sandhya, just while we are discussing this, how about the current times? Like, right now, probably you're not interacting in person a lot. So
Right.
how are you taking your business ahead in these times?
So these are challenging times, right? We haven't had a time like this before. There is a lot of uncertainty, and we don't know how things will pan out. I was, in fact, having a discussion with somebody. It's going to take a lot of weeks and months for things to still normalize, and you don't even know
Right.
what normal is anymore.
True.
But reaching out to my current clients, reaching out to potential clients, giving them options of having an online program, reaching out to them, staying connected with them, I think is working for me. I do have current clients who I'm working with on a day-to-day basis. And while the modus has changed, how our method has changed, but if your content strong, if your experience strong, and if you really give value to somebody, I think I again don't think physical meeting is of course, I mean, a lot of aspects of my profession, like image consulting, we talk about body language, we talk about makeup and fashion. So we have to see how that comes into play a little ahead, maybe 1 or 2 months down the line. But as of right now,
Right.
yeah. So as of right now, I'm doing well with online consultations.
Right. So, Sandhya, I think even after having the first initial start of what you want to do as a professional, I think the roadblocks don't end there. I think they just build up.
Yeah. So
And sorry, please go ahead. Yeah.
so I would say that the roadblocks don't really, I mean, because I say I work with words a lot, I wouldn't say they have built up, they keep changing.
Right.
Right. So you never really have the same topography wherever you go. In different
Yeah.
times, maybe 5 years back, my challenges were different. Now my challenges are different.
Right.
Challenges are there, but then of course, like I say, being resourceful, being able to come up with options, always adds. I mean, then work doesn't stop. You just find different ways of working.
Right. So, Sandhya, every time you encounter a roadblock or a temporary one or a stronger one, or depending on the frequency of the roadblock, but what is that one thing that keeps you going all the time?
Uh, Persistence. I think I've always been somebody who does not say no. I have said yes to all the opportunities, most of the opportunities that have come my way. There is a certain courage that is involved. There is certain risk-taking ability that's involved. But I think persistence is the bottom line for me. I mean, I will find a way out, and I will continue to do what I want to do.
So I
That
guess that's
always
that
stays.
they say, like, where there's a will, there's a way, and you'll find
There
it.
is stays. Yeah, yeah.
So guys, follow your passion, make it a profession, take actions, how big or small, take actions every day, and as Sandhya said, be persistent. So I think these are the keys to really trying to pursue your passion. And Sandhya, all these years that you have played different roles in your professional life, how has it changed you as a person?
Uh, Again, the field that I am in talks about transformation. Meet my clients and they have certain expectations of, they want to look a certain way or they want to be able to speak a certain way, portray themselves, feel more confident. So, as and when I have dealt with my clients, just like they have learned from me, I have always learned so many things from each one of them, right? To be more courageous, like I said, to be more courageous, take up newer opportunities. Don't be daunted by the task. Just start and things fall in place. I think these are certain things that my clients have taught me, and I've imbibed them. I observe and I soak it in. So, as a person, I've definitely changed. In fact, in school, I used to be someone who was very shy. I was an introvert. I would stay buried in my book or sit on the first bench and avoid, talking to everybody around. So while that introvert hasn't really become this completely different transformation person, but I'm able to channel myself and create opportunities for myself by meeting others. So yeah, so that is one change that I have been able to bring in.
Okay, so it hasn't really transformed you to a completely new person, but rather enhanced of whatever qualities you were holding and get them to a better levels. Is that something that you can say that?
Um, yeah, more or less. But if you see who I was in my teenage to who I am right now, I think my teenage wouldn't recognize me right now, right? Or if there are certain instances that come to mind, and I'm like, did I really do that? And I can't recognize that person anymore, right? So we
Yep.
do change. These are sometimes big and small changes, but it's an evolution. You can't, I mean, that is how I think everybody grows. They go from one
Yeah.
step to another and they transform constantly.
Right. Well, that's really insightful, Sandhya, and that's really great to know that how you've taken small steps every day, and then how it has turned a full circle, and here you are today. So, Sandhya, if we talk about, say, starting your career into image consulting and soft skills trainer, would you have done this a little earlier in life? Like, as you mentioned, that you started your career as an image consultant around 30s. Would you have done it a lot earlier?
Well, Kriti, I see a lot of image consultants who are very, very young. I see soft skills trainers who are 22 and 23 and they've just come into this area. And I often wonder that as somebody who's that young, other than knowledge, where does the experience come from? The more people that you meet, the more you age, the more the vintage is, right? The more your experience grows, your observations have grown. So I don't think I would have wanted to do this a little earlier. Of course, I mean, had I had a natural talent for it and I was this passionate diva and all of it, of course, who wouldn't love to be talented? But experience plays its own role. As you grow, you gather so much information, and that is what my field thrives on, right? That information, the assimilation of this information, and being able to impart this to others, train others into it. So I think it's happened on its own time. I've had my own fair share of work life, and I think I'm better for it now.
Okay, great summary, Sandhya. Thank you so much for that. Also, I think our viewers, whoever's watching this, um, do you have some wise words for them to take the leap of faith?
Wise words. I think when I thought, when I'm somebody who prepares, right? So when I thought that I had this talk coming up, I was like, okay, how would I like to start or what would I say? It reminds me of this really important story. Steve Jobs, I think in one of his speeches in Stanford, he said that he can look at himself or, whatever he's passed through and come to this point, he can now join the dots back to what he became or how he became this person. Right. So I would also ask people to go reflect on themselves, see where they are right now, what is the learning that they have picked up. We talk about passion, but then people are passionate about so many things. Can you actually
Yeah,
turn everything into your profession, right? Think what passion or what is something that you really enjoy doing but also can generate a income for you, a future for you, right?
right.
Can you scale it? Can you expand it? Even if you love cooking or if you love designing, what is the road beyond it? Just able to be able to enjoy art for yourself and call it passion is different. It's a hobby, right? When you're
Right.
really serious about it, identify that core of yourself and then pursue it. So don't
Great.
just treat passion like a hobby or hobby like a passion. You can't
Yeah.
really earn in everything, or you can't create a career in 10 things.
No, that's a very valuable note to make, that, have a clear distinction between your hobbies and profession, as rightly suggested and said by Sandhya. And even Sandhya has given background to it as well, like why you should not consider your hobbies and professions, and don't mix it up.
Right.
Keep them separate.
Right.
Right. So Sandhya, I think we've got enough for us to really take the leap of faith from here. And I'm sure whoever is watching it has made their notes from whatever you have shared from your journey. So I really hope that, whoever's watching, they are able to take the leap of faith. Just in case if they want to reach out to you, are you open to helping?
Definitely. So that is again, I got into this profession. One of the reasons was that I identified that helping people or being able to add to who they are is something that I'm very passionate about. Right, that drives me as a person. So everybody who is listening to me right now, if you want to reach out for something, you're looking for personal change, or just identifying your own core strength, reach out to me. I'm willing to help.
Right. Well, that's a real big commitment that Sandhya is open to help whoever needs the help. So do reach out to her. And I know that internet is a very big platform, and everybody has the right to be on it. So everybody just be respectful towards Sandhya and follow what she says is what I can say.
Right. Yes, I would really appreciate that. Right.
Right. So, Sandhya, thank you so much for all the information that you've shared, your journey, and I think now we are good to move to the second part of the session, which is
Right.
for us to get to know you a little more on the personal note.
Okay.
So I'll be running through some questions, really quick and rapid, and you have to give your first thoughts as answers.
All right. We'll do my
Sure.
best. Yeah.
Okay, here it starts. So, Sandhya, as a teenager, in 3 words.
Okay.
Describe
As a
yourself as,
teenager,
yeah.
shy, bookish but not studious. That's more than 3 words, but shy, bookish, and living in my own world. I think that's also not 3 words, but yeah, yeah.
We get the idea.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So next is Netflix series that you're glued to.
Currently, I'm watching Bosch,
Okay.
but I really like watching Fauda. It's an Israeli series based on Israel and Palestinian conflict, and I've really binged on it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice to know. I think I'll have to start watching that
Yeah, yeah,
on your recommendation.
sure.
Okay. What are the 3 must-carry things in your handbag?
My eyeliner, my lip balm, and my sunscreen.
Perfect. I don't think you need anything more to be perfect for all time. Right. Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Why?
Because I have one, I would want to get more, but I haven't really gotten around to it. But I think I like what they stand for, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a story
Book.
on you.
Okay. Good. Book that has influenced you.
Okay, quite a few. Like I said, I've read a lot of books. One of the earliest books that influenced me was by Richard Buck, called The Bridge Across Forever,
Okay.
right? A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth, the book Thief, which I read a couple of years back, and currently I am reading Being Michelle Obama, and
Okay.
I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, yeah. So for every woman who's listening to me right now, buy a copy.
I'm buying one for sure.
Please do. Yeah.
For now, I think the ebook, but we'll see how the paperbacks
Yeah,
will come.
yeah, yeah.
Right. First thing you do post lockdown.
First thing I did post lockdown.
You will do
You
after
do. Oh,
after the lockdown is over.
I after it's taking a lot of time. I'll still be very careful about what I do or where I go, and I'll still only go if necessary. So I'll be
So you'll
very
be cautious.
judicious.
Yeah.
I'll be judicious and cautious.
I think that's a great advice for everybody, that once the lockdown is down, don't just go cool bananas. No, you still need to take care, take all the precautions. Okay, next question. What's your chill pill?
My chill pill is cooking. I really enjoy it, and but not roti, sabji, dal, chawal. Not how I have to cook right now for sustenance, but cooking as a form of creativity. I think is my chill pill.
Okay, I never knew that. That's something that I'm getting to know you. I think
You need
I think
to.
after this session, it's going to come to me like I never knew Sandhya like that.
But Kriti, are you not following my Insta? You should see my Insta pics. I think every 2 or 3 days I post a picture about something that I have made. Yeah, so
I am
that's
watching
about.
them, but I think at this time, like, I thought that you're trying few dishes. That's what my immediate thing was. Like, maybe Sandhya is giving a hand at new dishes or new varieties.
Yeah, yeah. But it's something that I really like, and when I'm the most stressed, I get the most creative.
Oh my God, bless your
Yeah,
husband.
yeah. Yes, yeah.
Right. What do you prefer, hard work or smart work?
Smart work.
Fair enough. And define success as it means to you.
Success, as it means to me, is being able to or utilizing my ability and creating something through it that people find or I find valuable and I find satisfaction in. So success to me is literally comes from within me. It's utilizing my own ability.
Great one, Sandhya. That was my last question.
All right.
And thank you for, taking my spontaneous question.
No, it was a pleasure. I've always wanted to do a rapid fire round.
Well, thank
I wasn't
you.
very rapid though, but still, yeah.
No, but all your answers, they do connect together. So, I mean, we just know your personality a little more. Thank you for that.
Love to do this. Yeah.
So everybody who's joined in, if you want to reach out to Sandhya, she is definitely there on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and she does have her own website. So if you need to reach out to her, please do. Sandhya, do you want to add a few words to this?
Yes, do reach out to me. Like I said, I am a personality coach. I am an image consultant. I coach people on communication, on looking their path, their body language. So if you feel that during this period or even after this period, you want to bring your best out, get in touch with me and I'll tell you how you can do it.
That's a great offer on hand. Please do grab it. Right. So as I said, you can reach out to Sandhya. And Sandhya, thank you so much for coming on this Insta mini series. Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping the faith in me. I'm very naive at it and I'm learning every day too.
Oh, you're doing a fabulous job. Like I said, Kriti, I think it was the conversation that not everybody was a part of. But I said courage is so inspiring. When you start something with a little bit of courage in it, people just join in, right? So yeah, so all the best with this. I'm sure you'll do even better as you go ahead.
Thank you so much and I wish you all the very best as well. So
Thank you so
guys,
much.
ending this valuable, insightful session with Sandhya, the recording will be up on my story. And if I get the technical parts right, I will get it on the Facebook as well. I suck at technology. Majority of them know now. So guys, thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you, Sandhya, once again. I would like to end this session with a beautiful quote. I don't know who has written it. If you find it, let me know. I'm ignorant about it. It goes like this. Know your passion, follow it, dream it, and live it. That is the only way to be successful. Signing off for now. See you again next Sunday. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.